Dude looks like a lady, and they're raising money for abandoned animals here in our area. What's it all about? You'll find out coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Fox 43 studio. We're focused on this Thursday night's second annual Sweetie Pie Beauty Pageant. And we're visiting with Gail Alexander, the Director of Public Relations for the Grand Strand Humane Society. Good morning, Gail.
Good morning to you.
Thanks so much for coming in. You got it. We're getting close.
I'm getting excited. I
You
really
gotta
am.
be.
Oh, I am.
It's like 55, 60 hours from now. Everything's going to be rolling.
Oh, it will. It's going to be an awesome night. There's no question about it.
Of course, the second annual can be so exciting because you know some of the things from the year before, some of the kinks you want to make sure to work out and get everything just right.
Well, who would have ever dreamed last year when we put this event together that it would be so successful? And we were delighted that it did as well as it did last year. But it is just phenomenal this year. The gentlemen that are in it are just going at it at full blast. I mean, they are really getting into it. Not only are they practicing their routines for their talent, but they are out there securing sponsorships left and right and competing heavily, I might say, for the Miss Congeniality Award.
And the Miss Congeniality is based on most bucks raised?
Most donations, absolutely. And we've got 4 or 5 of them that are just going at it strong. They really are, and it's been awesome, the donations that have been coming in. And actually, I am very excited to share this. I'm not going to share the amount that we're making, but this event is going to top every fundraiser that's ever been held in the history of the Grand Strand Humane Society.
You are kidding.
I know, isn't that fabulous? I still can't believe it. But we're just very, very blessed and very fortunate that we've had the men out there just working as hard as they have, trying to create the awareness for us. And they have. They've opened up a lot of doors for us by securing these sponsorships. People that have not donated to us before are donating.
Right.
And so that in itself is certainly a blessing.
And at great levels, the sponsorship amounts are between $100 and $1,000.
Oh, absolutely. We had sponsorship packages from $250, $500, and $1,000.
Right.
The $1,000 sponsors did get 4 complimentary tickets to the event, and the 500 got 2 complimentary tickets. However, we said, don't turn down a donation, whether it's $25, $50, $5, it doesn't matter. So they've been taking any and all donations.
That's critical, Gail. And of course, a lot of folks could still, even if they can't, and I know that's one of the things you're going to have to talk about today, is the inability for more folks to fit into the room, but they can still, they can call y'all to get a list of the folks, and they can make individual donations.
They certainly can. Like you mentioned, we are actually sold out, believe it or not, and we've been sold out for a while, which I guess is a good problem to have.
Yes, yes.
However, we can certainly still take more donations, and since these guys are competing for the Miss Congeniality Award, if you would like to pick one of them and make a donation in their name, it will count towards their tally of donations.
Right.
So, and no one knows but me who the winner is going to be until the night when I will hand the my note to our MC, and she will announce who the winner is.
Is this the same MC as last year?
It is. It's,
Get down.
Diane Devon Stokes. She does a fabulous job for us, and we are delighted to have her back.
Oh, yeah. And I understand Diane's husband is coming in a different role this year.
He is. Last year he was one of the contestants and was awesome and did a fabulous job. And so this year we were going to bring him back as backstage manager, but he opted to shoot the video for us. So we will be selling videos of the event. So people that may not have a ticket and cannot attend the event, we encourage them to maybe perhaps think about buying a video.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a great idea. I didn't know that. I thought he was still doing the backstage manager to help the guys get out there on time.
Yeah, I think he wanted to do both, and he was torn.
Right.
And finally, he decided, well, heck, I'll do the video, and we've got someone else to do the backstage.
Oh yeah, and y'all could raise some big bucks alone just from the sale. I mean, the Humane Society could raise some big bucks from selling those videos all over town. Probably blackmail as well.
I was going to say we could certainly have a lot of blackmail going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Gail, real quick, for viewers who may need to get off to school or get out to work, what's the best phone number to call, A, to talk about some of the folks for making donations to individuals, as well as potentially a website that a viewer could visit if they got to get out now?
They can call us at the shelter, well, actually at our administrative office, which is 448-5891.
Okay.
And that goes straight into our office, and we can certainly answer any question they may have in regards to the event, or, like you said, our website. Now, if they would like to call and ask information about our animals, we do have a separate number, which is our shelter.
Okay.
And that's 448-9151.
Okay, well, if some viewers like me probably can't remember more than one number, but they can always, if they call one, someone will give them the other number.
Certainly.
Okay, fantastic. And of course, to call, particularly for this event, to make donations, 843-448-5891.
Correct.
Great. And y'all's website?
Our website is very easy. It's grandstrandhumanesociety.com.
Okay, fantastic.
And we try to keep it up to date and have information on there that anybody might be interested in our shelter or our animals. And if you want to see what animals we have available for adoption, if you'll just go on the website, and there's a little place you can go over and click on Pet Finders. And if you click on Pet Finders, it'll automatically open up to the Pet Finders page, and then you click down to the Grand Strand Humane Society, and you'll actually see pictures and little write-ups of the animals that we've got available for adoption.
A little write-up about each one.
Mm-hmm.
You all have quite a few there.
We do. We have about 220 animals on site, mostly at all times. Now, on the website, mostly what we've got is dogs. We've got pictures of the dogs because we have so many of those that we try to find homes for. But certainly, if anyone wants any more information, they can call us at either of those numbers.
Okay, great. Gail, real quick about yourself. Are you originally from the area?
I am from Charleston, South Carolina. Grew up there and actually still have family living there. My mother and father are still there. My sister and her husband lives there. And then most recently, well, a couple of years ago, my daughter moved there.
Is that right?
So, but I met my husband there, Joe Alexander, and we actually, after we were married, we were transferred to Florence, South Carolina. So we lived in Florence for 13 years, and both of my children, I have a son and a daughter, they were born there. And then my husband's a banker, and we were transferred to Myrtle Beach. We've been here about 21 years now.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, so Myrtle Beach is home.
The Low Country, the PD, and the Strand. You hit a good trinity there, a good triangle there.
I did, and so I'm close to home. I'm close to friends in Florence, and love Myrtle Beach. So it's worked out really, really nice for us.
That is exciting, Gail. Now, do you still get down to Charleston often, either to see your parents, your sister, or your daughter? Yeah,
I do. I try to get down there quite often, and it's just a 2-hour trip. So even if I wanted to ride down for the day and come right back, I certainly can do that too, so that makes it really nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How exciting. Is your son still in the area?
My son is actually in Houston, Texas. He is a pilot with Continental Airlines, and so we get the benefit of flying standby, so we get to fly free, which is pretty nice. However, it's pretty difficult. You can't fly during the holidays because there's usually not very many seats available then. But it makes it really nice to be able to travel on Continental.
I bet it does. Now, you said Joe Alexander. I think I saw Joe Alexander's name as related to the Sweetie Pie contest last year. Oh, yes.
Who would have ever thought that he would actually be one of the contestants, but he was. And he actually sang, lip-synced to Man, I Feel Like a Woman by Shania Twain. So
you are kidding.
It was very funny. And had on a pretty blue dress, a blonde wig, so he made a fairly nice-looking woman.
Now, did you help him get prepped at all, Gail, or you had to kind of stand back since you were helping out with the event?
I did help him as far as getting his clothes, his dress, and shoes. However, I had a makeup artist come in and be backstage with him to help him get ready because, like you say, I was too busy out front and wasn't able to stay back there with him, but did a great job. And he had a wonderful time. He had said that it was one of the best times he can remember having because all the guys, when they were in backstage, he said it was almost like a fraternity. They were having a really good time.
It had to be like a fraternity back there in many ways.
Yes.
I'm sure it did. Gail, of course, for viewers who may not be familiar with the Sweetie Pie Beauty Pageant, or our viewers in the PD or southeastern North Carolina who may not have been down last year for the event, and obviously if they don't have tickets can't get into this year's event, share with them a little about the evening, what time everything kicks off, and exactly how it's structured, and maybe a little bit about last year's winner. I'll ask you about him or her in a minute, but how about how the evening's structured?
Well, the evening starts at 6 o'clock, and from 6 to 7, it's actually a cocktail social hour, and we have hors d'oeuvres. We felt like we needed a little time slot in there for people when they get there to socialize a little bit, because we hated to start the show, in other words, start the show and people walking in the door at the same time. This gives people a chance to walk around, see people, because they're going to know everybody in there practically, and want to speak. So this gives them time to do that and eat a little bit. And then at 7 o'clock on the dot, the show starts, and Diane Devon Stokes will bring out the contestants. They do an opening number. Last year, the gentlemen were dressed in, they had ponchos on and umbrellas, and they danced to It's Raining Men. Oh. And the music was really awesome, and it just got everybody pumped up, and the audience pumped up. This year, I don't want to give it away, but they will be coming out and doing a little routine together this year. And actually, I guess since the viewers, a lot of them are not, well, I don't know, I better not tell, I started to say, because the ones who have tickets may know, and I want it to be a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
But they'll be coming out. Right after that, each one of them individually come out and do talent. The funny thing about it is most of them don't have any talent.
Ooh.
And that's what makes it hilarious, is they have to make up something. So you never know what they're going to do. And then after the talent, they go backstage and put on their evening gowns. They come out and they do their quarter turns in front of the judges. It's just like a Miss America pageant.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's actually down to 5 finalists. And those 5 finalists have a question. They pick a question to ask. And, of course, the whole time the judges are out in front of them with a point system, giving them different points. And then we finally get down to where it's time to announce the winners. And, of course, at that time, will announce Miss Congeniality, who, again, is the contestant that raises the most money.
Right.
And then we call out second runner-up, first runner-up, and then Miss Sweetie Pie is crowned.
Oh, yeah. Golly. And, of course, the key thing we may not have hit on, we're talking about 19 businessmen from the community, at some level businessmen, oftentimes just local.
These are all well-known businessmen in the community, and the nice thing is the age ranges. We've got 29 years old up to 62.
Oh, wow.
And like you said, there's 19 of them, and these are just great businessmen and who are very well known in the community.
Right. Now you wait till the last second. I guess you don't let any of the contestants know who the judges are beforehand, or do they have some idea? They can't be working behind the scenes right now.
They can't be working behind the scenes, but I don't know if I should share that or not either.
Of course, it's Tuesday, so we're just 55 hours or so before the event.
Right.
You're more than, I don't know. How many folks are watching me right now at 7? That would depend.
I'll share it then.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Who are the judges this year?
We've got Brad Dean.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone knows Brad Dean with the Chamber of Commerce. Susan Means, who is City Council.
Right.
Then we've got Ed Piotrowski,
oh, great.
meteorologist, and we've got Brenda Spadoni.
Oh, good. So those 4.
Those 4.
That's a motley crew. Golly, that's a motley crew. You had a motley crew last year as well. And of course, the excitement here is thinking about, do you mind sharing? I know you'll have to look down to go over all 19 of those folks.
I would love to share who's going to be in this
please.
event. And they are in alphabetical order, but we have Billy Alford with A&I, Alford, which is Fire and Water Restoration, Paul Booth with WESI Consulting, Edgerton Burroughs and Chapin, Bob Callahan with Smith, Sapp, Bookhout, Crumpler, and Callahan, CPA, Roy Dunn, First Trust Mortgage, Joe Gerald, Lightest Properties, Bo Godbold with Waccamaw Brick Company, Dr. Bill Green, he's a retired surgeon,
right.
Ward Hammock with ATM Now, and our solicitor, Greg Hembry.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Hill's attorney, Bobby Kelly with State Farm Insurance, Louis LaBruce, who's a banker with Coastal Federal Bank, Dr. Lauren Ross, orthodontist, Denny Starr, who has Star Fitness.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. David Turner with Turner Chiropractic, Toby Wellington with BPS Boardwalk Paper Supply, We have Doug Wendell with Burroughs and Chapin.
Who's that?
Yes, who's that? And Dr. Paul Zadibble with the Grand Strand Hospital.
Spectacular.
So we
Gail.
have a wonderful lineup of guys. And like I say, they have all just been awesome in helping put this event together.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be a great night.
Now, I wonder if any of these 19 folks have gone to last year's winner to talk to him about some of the things that he did to prepare. Real quick, who is last year's winner?
It was Bill Gasquet with
Oh, yeah.
New York Life, who did a fabulous job. And he is actually coming back to crown this year's Miss Sweetie Pie.
Yeah.
He will also give his farewell speech and do his final walk. And so there'll probably be some tears shed.
Yeah, I know I will be.
But like I say, it's going to be a fun night all the way around.
It's got to be, Gail, as you think about it. And of course, think back to last year's event. As you were preparing for the first annual, how did y'all come up with the idea to have a Sweetie Pie beauty pageant? And of course, knowing that the prime focus is to raise funds to benefit the Grand Strand Humane Society to help homeless animals of all types.
And that was the key. I had done this event before when I was at the March of Dimes, but it was on a lower scale. What we did was actually one of my teams that was raising money was a bank, decided to do this event, but they kept it very family oriented.
Right.
They actually recruited employees in the bank, and then their families came to the event. So, and we had popcorn and Coke, and it didn't make a lot of money. It was a lot of fun, but we just didn't bring in the money. So one day we were sitting around brainstorming and decided, well, how can we make this event bring in money? Donations that are desperately needed for the homeless animals.
Right.
And actually my husband said, well, why don't you, since you're patterning it after a Miss America pageant, don't they have sponsors? And maybe you can get the contestants to secure sponsorships. And it was like, wow, that's an excellent idea.
That is.
So we didn't know if it was going to work, but we thought we'd try it. And I recruited actually 19 gentlemen last year and asked them if they thought that they could secure at least $1,000 sponsor. And they all said absolutely. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of went from there.
And did they all do it last year?
Almost all of them.
Right.
If they didn't get their 1,000, they at least got some donations.
Right,
and then, of course, we had some that raised more than the 1,000. And this year, we've got some that have raised a lot more than the 1,000.
Wow, Gail,
So,
yeah. Now, did y'all have a budget set? I mean, obviously, last year, the first year, did you lay out a budget for this year?
I did,
Yeah.
and I have surpassed that.
Already?
Oh,
Golly.
absolutely, yeah. Like I say, this will be the largest fundraiser in the history of the Grand Strand Humane Society.
That is tremendous, Gail.
And I'm just so proud of that. And, of course, I owe it to these guys and the sponsors that have sponsored them.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been fun. I'll share this with you. I had one of the contestants' wives tell me that she was getting a little concerned. She took him to a dress shop. There was this beautiful blue dress hanging on one of the sale racks, which was only $10. He wouldn't have anything to do with it. He wanted the dress on this rack that was a lot more expensive.
Oh, no. Oh.
So she said she was getting a little concerned. He was enjoying it too much. Of course, it was all in fun and jest, but they have all had a good time trying on shoes, makeup, wigs, the whole thing.
Gail, now some of these guys have probably called begging to get out, or no. I mean, you've got to have some fear coming in these guys' minds about blackmail.
Well,
I mean, about any numbers of things happening.
They've kidded me about it, but actually, I think all of them are looking forward to it. And I did have one gentleman drop out about a month ago, and he just got too bogged down in his job.
Right.
And was very apologetic. But the rest of them, like I said, they'll tease me a little bit about that they're going to pull out, but I don't think they would for a moment. They're having a great time with this, and of course they're getting a lot of attention with it.
Oh yeah, very definitely.
Yeah.
Of course, I think you mentioned 20 minutes or so ago before we got started that y'all are going to be. Oh no, you just said that during the interview that Chuck Stokes will be videotaping the evening's event. So there's some opportunity to raise some funds.
Oh yes, yeah. So and we will be selling raffle tickets that night for a chance to win. It's a 50-50 raffle. So you know there's still some little opportunities there for us too while we're actually at the event.
So any viewers who already have tickets or know folks who have tickets, they need to tell them or think about bringing some money out to
there you go.
to get
Absolutely.
some tickets, to have a chance to win some cash, and hopefully make a donation back to the Grand Strand Humane
That would
Society.
be nice.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, of course, from last year, there were some things, since it was your first annual, there's some things that you're doing differently when you think back to some of the events that happened. Of course, like having a coach in the back or someone to help manage the guys, to break up the fraternity party a little bit in the back.
That's probably one of the main things that we decided that we needed, was someone that can keep them in line and in order of when they're supposed to come out on stage, and just to be sure that they're timely in getting out there. That's probably the biggest thing. But other than that, last year it just ran so smooth that it was unbelievable. And actually, Craig Smith, who's the manager at Revolutions, where we're having the event, was very complimentary. He said that he has done numerous charitable events, and he was very, very impressed with our event that night and how smoothly everything ran. And so it made me feel good that we were on top of everything and put on a great show, and didn't really have very many glitches, so to speak, at all. So it made this year easy. It really did.
Absolutely. I want to focus on the Grand Strand Humane Society and obviously talk, if you'd be willing to share with viewers, maybe giving them an inside view as to what it's like at the Grand Strand Humane Society, give them a sense if they travel down 10th Avenue North Extension, if they were visiting the area, if they weren't from the area and were visiting, or if they live right here and have never been over there.
I think anytime anybody comes to our shelter, they're going to be very impressed. Our shelter is fairly new. It's 4 years old now, and it has made the biggest difference having a new shelter, state of the art, so to speak. But when you walk into our lobby, you've got animals that are walking around, and they'll walk up to the door and greet you. Sunshine coming in through the windows. We've got a friendly staff. And we've got the animals broke up into different areas. We've got the kennels out back where the larger dogs are at, and actually we have 2 kennels that you can walk through. Then we have another side of the shelter, which is for our smaller animals. We've got a puppy room. We have a puppy yard, so when it's a pretty sunshiny day like today, we'll let them play outdoors and then bring them in for nap time, just like a little daycare. Then we have 2 cat rooms, and you can go in and visit with the cats. And we also have an adoption room where if you want to spend some quiet, quality time alone with a pet, you can go in there and just kind of check out their personality and see if you bond with this particular animal. Our adoption fees are $75, and that does include spaying or neutering and also their first shots. So it's really an easy process, and our staff is very good about trying to help match up pets that would fit your lifestyle.
Okay, if a viewer wanted to come by and visit, are you all open 7 days a week or 6 days?
We are open 7 days a week. Monday through Saturday, we are open from 11 to 6, and then on Sundays from 1 to 5.
Okay, Sundays from 1 to 5, so a lot of folks can come after they get up or after church or otherwise. I mean, it's a great opportunity to spend part of the weekend.
And bring your family out, right out there with the children, let them visit. And we can always use volunteers, too.
I was about to ask about volunteer opportunities. Which is the best number, of course, for information on the donations, the 448-5891, potentially for this Thursday night Sweetie Pie, a beauty pageant, but for an opportunity to come visit, is that the same number?
Actually, either number would be fine. We need volunteers in both areas. We need volunteers in the shelter to help with animals, hands-on. If you've got time, maybe even on your lunch hour, if you just want to come by and walk some of the dogs, certainly you're welcome to do that, or go in and visit with the cats. If you're more interested in volunteering on the other side, then I always need volunteers to help with the fundraising and with special events. Just like our Walk for the Animals, takes about 30 volunteers to put that event on. And we have a lot of things going on at the convention center that I use volunteers to take shifts and work 2 or 3 hours at our booth. So there's a lot of opportunities there either way, or even if you want to do both.
Great. And so the 843-448-9151 number is a good one to call and just say, I want to volunteer.
Yes.
Of course, you mentioned the Walk for Animals. That's an event coming up in late October.
That's in October.
Okay.
And right now we've got men dressing up. Well, in October we've got the pets dressing up, and they actually dress up in Halloween costumes. And this is an event where people bring out their own pets and bring them dressed in costumes and enter them in the pet contest. It's a fun day. Even if you don't have pets, we encourage you to come out because it's just such a delight seeing these animals all dressed up. It's a lot of fun. Everybody there has a smile on their face.
And there be a way for viewers to make a donation for that? How funds are raised for that? We just got a couple of minutes, Gail.
Right. Again, we offer sponsorships, and also if you want to have a team and maybe your neighborhood or people you work with would like to put money together and compete for, we have awards for that area too.
Okay, great. If you know, as you think back to as Joe's idea about getting folks involved, finding sponsorships, as you think back on last year and get ready for this Thursday night's event, what's in your mind right now as you're getting ready just the next couple of days, Gail?
I guess I'm just excited, I regret that I can't get the whole community in there. It's because it is such a fun night and it is so hilarious. I want to share it with everyone. So I guess that's the one thing that I just kind of hate, that I can't get everybody in there. But maybe the ones that don't come this year get tickets early and come to it next year.
Absolutely. Y'all will be raising prices soon. That's right. That's right.
Possibly.
Maybe
yes.
so. Okay, great. Thanks so much for being with us this morning, Gail.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Gail Alexander coming up next. The word responsible is in responsibilities. The word responsible is in there. Being a responsible pet owner, there's a big responsibility in that. You think about a group like the Grand Strand Humane Society or the Humane Society in your community, whether it's in Lumberton or Florence or Laurinburg or wherever you are, take the time to think through that aspect of finding a loving home for homeless and abandoned animals. There's a lot of them out there. This Humane Society, the Grand Strand Humane Society, is thinking out of the box. An event like the second annual Sweetie Pie Beauty Pageant to raise funds, you can do one in your community. If the Humane Society or another charitable group doesn't have something like this, they can do it. This is an important avenue to recognize a constant responsibility to find a home for abandoned or homeless animals. If you don't have a ticket, make sure to call the Humane Society to get one locked up for next year. It'll be a sold-out event again, a thrilling evening, and 19 folks making a huge commitment to just that, to finding a loving home for abandoned animals. Take the time.